welcome, beautiful human, or welcome back to my channel. Today's class is another live class recording, approximately an hour long, centered all around the topic of patience. I don't know what it was exactly about this class, but while I felt maybe not 100% going in, it left me feeling so much better after, and that's why I really wanted to share with you today. Physically, we're going to explore a little bit of a more challenging balance in pose, as well as some shoulder openings. You will want to grab a block or something similar in shape to support your practice today. I hope you will enjoy this class as much as I did, so grab your mat and let's move together. We are going to start in a cross-legged seat today. So make your way there if not already. If you have the block or if you have a pillow, you can place that underneath the sits bones. I feel like there's a couple of new people here today. My name is Anna. I'm a yoga teacher this morning. I teach Vinyasa yoga. I teach Yin yoga. I'm here to hopefully make you wake up a little bit more this morning and just feel good in your body and just, hopefully we'll have some fun together. All right, so if you want to play with music, practice with music, go ahead, play that here. And then just find a comfortable cross-legged seat, whichever foot wants to come in front, just naturally. And taking a moment here to arrive, maybe taking a big inhale through the nose. And an extra long exhale through the open mouth. Just sighing it out, dropping the shoulders, really letting it go. And repeat that if that felt good. Or take a more subtle approach to your breath. Gently finding the in and exhales through the nose. And then you can flip the palms up to the sky. It's usually a little bit more cooling. We're still in the midst of summer here in Germany, so that should hopefully feel good. Begin to relax your shoulders, your jaw, your neck. And just that softness that we tend to wake up with, hopefully. Just keeping that alive for a little bit longer. Softness in the belly, in the jaw. And just focusing on the breath. Where do you feel it? Where do you find it? How is it flowing today? And then, as I mentioned in the very beginning, if you joined a bit late, maybe just for you as well, today's practice is all centered around the topic of patience. So maybe you want to tune into that sensation already. What does it mean to you? What comes up when you think about it? What emotions are you allowing to begin to rise in your body? And wherever they are, wherever they're coming from, it's all good. They're all welcome. Maybe you struggle with patience. You're not alone. I'm here too. I do that. Despite being a yoga teacher. And sometimes life really puts a challenge on us and really tests our patience. Like we feel sometimes like we're stuck. We want to move forward. We just got to allow ourselves to take a step back and trust in whatever's going to happen. And that little feeling is something that we want to explore today. So maybe that means, so obviously if we allow ourselves to be patient with us, cultivating it for ourselves, that's going to allow it to take it off the mat, take it towards life, take it towards other humans we interact with, other situations. And then bring hands in front of your heart center. Thumbs touch your chest. Take a big breath in, lift the gaze. And as you exhale, bowing down, committing this practice to being patient with yourself, with your body, with whatever comes along. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Lift the gaze. And then you can release the hands and just bring them down on towards your knees. So if you're seated on a block, you might want to stay there. For those of you who have just joined, please find a yoga block for today's practice or something similar. All right, and we're going to start doing some cat and cow. So I think it's barely seeable through my posture here this morning. But you're going to inhale, roll your shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, really lift the chest. So you find a little bit of a lift here through this upper part. You might even want to lift the gaze. And then as you exhale, you round, draw the shoulders forward, the shoulder blades away from the other, and tucking the chin into the chest. Taking big breath, so big movements, or just taking it a little bit more slow. In breath, opening, exhale, round. Scoop the shoulders forward and your head back. Big breath in. Big breath out. Now, if maybe one position feels good, you can also consider staying here today. Not for the entirety of this practice, obviously, but maybe another breath, maybe shaking the head and twisting the shoulders. We really want to work on this first part of the class to make space in the body to explore a couple of other postures. Good, and then we're all going to meet back in center, and from here we're just going to take circles with the torso through the pelvis. So whatever direction wants to go first, however large these circles want to be, these can be little wiggles left and right. So again, think about making space in your body, allowing yourself to move a little bit freely. And change size if you haven't already. All right, and then we're all gonna wiggle it back to the center. Take a big breath in, reach the arms up and overhead. And then as you exhale, find a side bend to the right side. So I realized the other day, I don't think I'm mirrored, so go whichever side feels good. You want to relax the right shoulder down, the left arm reaches up and overhead. Take a big breath in and a long breath out. And then you inhale, come back to center, bring the arms on shoulder height, exhale, other side. Again, that lower shoulder wants to relax down. You can keep softness in that elbow. The other arm, the fingertips want to reach really high. So you feel the stretch almost up into your hips. Good, big breath in, come back to the center. Exhale one more time, side bend. Picking up the pace, in breath, center. Exhale, other side. Good, one more time, in breath, center. Exhale to the side, to the right side. And then on your next inhale, you want to reach the left arm up. Now think about turning your chest open to the sky so the right shoulder comes forward, the left shoulder comes back. You can lift the gaze for this twist, little twist in the side bend. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can bring the back arm behind you. Maybe the fingertips can touch the mat. And again, the shoulder blades are squeezing together and you're lifting your chest. Take a big inhale. And a long exhale. Maybe this is nicer also without the block, so let's see how that feels. And then you come back to center, arms on shoulder height, and side bend to the other side. On your next inhale again, lifting the upper arm up, the lower shoulder pushes forward, the upper shoulder pushes back. Finding this opening, this might look a little bit different for you and your body type. And then again, if you want, exploring, bringing the upper arm behind you. You can come on the fingertips and to get a little bit more extra space here if you have short arms, like me, drawing the shoulder blades together, lifting the gaze. See how that feels. Again, think about opening your body up. Big breath in, long breath out. And release the back arm.
Come back to the center, and then this time bringing both hands behind you, really coming on the fingertips. I'm just going to turn around so you can see a bit better. And turning the fingertips away from you, so the big thumbs are turning towards your bum. And then you're going to roll the shoulders back, and the further you're going to bring the fingers, the hands together, the bigger that stretch is going to be. See if you want to come close to your bum or a little bit further away. And then again, just like cat position, drawing the shoulder blades together, lifting the chest. Take a big breath in and a long breath out. All right, good. Gently release that here. Now you might want to take the block again. We're going into a little bit of a twist. So bring your right leg over your left leg, coming into this twisted position. I'm just going to show it from the front. It looks something like this. So the lower foot, the shin bone, and the outer edge of the foot are all the way down on the floor. And the upper leg just comes with the foot on top. Now, if that's a little bit too much, you can use the block, because we want to make sure that both of the sits bones are rooted down through the floor to have an even pelvis alignment. Or you just extend the lower leg out in front of you. So find your option. And then bring the left hand behind you if the right leg is up. Big breath in, the right arm reaches up and tall. And then on the exhale, finding the twist here to the side. Breathe. One more big breath in. Keep the lift through the crown of the head, so no collapsing in the torso. Again, strong open heart this morning. I'm gonna exhale. Awesome. Come back to the center. Now, if you're seated with the lower leg extended, just bring the upper leg. You want to kind of think about bringing the knee on top of the knee, so coming on the outer edge of the foot. If you have both feet down and you've been practicing yoga for a while, maybe you know this shape, cow face, both of the sits bones still rooted down, so possibly again lifting yourself up through a block or a pillow, whatever that is. And then we're just going to take a gentle forward fold. This is a big, big stretch for the outer hips. If it's too much this morning, you just stay here. You give yourself patience, remember. You give your body that patience, because if you rush, that's when the injury wants to happen. We try to stay cautious of that. If you feel like you have space, if you feel like you can calm your nervous system, calm your breath, allow yourself time and space, maybe you can travel forward. Wherever you are, take a big breath in and a long breath out. Good. You rise back up if you were a little bit lower, and then we want to change sides. So the upper leg now comes on the bottom, the lower leg comes on top. And first of all, finding this twist position. Again, the lower leg can always extend out. And then the same arm of the leg comes behind you. Big breath in, the arm reaches up, and then on the exhale, finding the twist. Again, be careful not to collapse through the chest. Think about a proud moment and drawing the heart space up to the sky. The crown of the head as if somebody lifts you even higher. And then you exhale, find a little bit of a deeper twist. And take a big breath in and a long breath out. And then come back to the center. Again, finding your cow face, so maybe just coming on the outer edge. Knees want to come together, and obviously, you know, they don't have to. We meet our body where we meet our bodies where they are this morning. So maybe even one side worked, the other didn't so much. Use the block if you want. And then if you feel like it, you can take a little forward fold. You can also get a hold of your feet, and maybe not. Breathe deep for another round. Gently roll back up. Release the block if you had one, and then untangle your legs. Now, make sure that you're pointed forward so you can extend your legs out. And if you want, you can again use the block to get a little bit more lift. This is Dandasana. It looks like a very simple shape, but actually it requires a lot of core activity to not, again, collapse here through the chest. So think about rolling the shoulders back, finding that straight lift here through the spine. The navel draws slightly in so the core keeps engaged. Sits bones draw down into the floor, and then see if you can extend the knees. Keep the feet active, so either pointed or flexed towards you. There's engagement through the core, through the quads. And then on your next in-breath, you reach the arms up and overhead. Find another straight line. On the exhale, you lean forward. And at this point, you might want to bend the knees to think about drawing your belly button further up towards your thighs. And then draw the shoulders back. So as if you wanted to pull something back. Pulling the shoulders slightly back. And moving from the chest forward, Paschimottanasana. And we're going to revisit the shape at a later point. So this is about learning progress and again, giving ourselves grace and patience for wherever we are today. Maybe it's a big fold. Maybe it's a tiny fold. And if you really think about it, it's all just a metaphor of how we phrase it for ourselves, how we judge it, if we judge it. Wherever you are, take one more big breath in, big breath out. And then roll yourself gently back up. Place the hands underneath the shoulders so that the fingertips are pointing forward. Option 1, bringing the feet down on the floor. So bending the knees, the full feet are down on the floor. And you're going to shift, lift yourself up. So you stack the knees over the wrists, over the ankles, and then you're eventually going to pull your pelvis up all the way, squeezing the glutes, maybe dropping the head. Finding this reverse table. If you feel like I need more this morning, I'm tired, you go into reverse plank. So just the heels touch the floor, one long line. And then wherever you are, the idea is to push the pelvis just a little bit higher. Squeeze the glutes, engage the core. Breathe. Awesome. Very slowly, with patience, bring yourself back down and then swing the legs to either side to come on towards your knees. If your knees are sensitive, flip the mat or grab a blanket. And then if you have the block, you could also place blocks next to you. Bring the left hand behind you, next to you. The right arm is going to reach up and back. And then think about lifting your pelvis just one more time, a little bit higher. So you don't have to go all the way just yet. Come gently down again. Changing sides. Inhale, lifting the left arm up and overhead, and then gently pushing the hips forward. And exhale down. And picking up the pace slowly, maybe growing bigger. Moving with the breath. Maybe you want to take a count of 2 breaths. Stay here for the exhale. Take another inhale, finding a bigger lift through the chest. And then exhale down. One more round each side. Awesome. Let's all find our ways back to the center. Taking a breath here. That opening of the frontal part of the body usually is quite energizing. And then come forward on all fours, tabletop position, maybe opening the knees a bit wider. Again, make sure the knees are comfortable. And then spreading the fingertips really, really wide. A couple rounds of cat and cow. Just like in the beginning, there's no need to take it super rigid. Exhale, rounding the spine, drawing the shoulder blades together, chin to chest. See if you want to do these wavy movements if you were here last week. Coming a little bit more forward, going a little bit more back. Or if you might even want to shake out the hips, circling from one side to the other. Whatever feels good, and maybe what feels good is also just a regular cat and cow. And find your breath again. Big breath in, dropping the belly. Big long breath out. One more round, wherever you are. Good, and then we're all going to find ourselves back in neutral tabletop position. You might want to tuck the toes. Maybe that's a little bit nicer also for the feet. And draw the navel in towards the spine so the core is a little bit active. And then on your next inhale, one arm, doesn't matter, is going to reach up to the sky. So think about keeping your pelvis slightly opened here. And then you might want to stay here. See how far you want to go. Again, give yourself patience. If the arm is a little bit lower, it's hard for you to open that shoulder. Don't worry about it. If you want to go a little bit deeper, bus stop 2 is bringing the upper arm behind your lower back, maybe even in towards the opposite hip crease. And then again, think about stacking the shoulders. So finding the bind is usually supposed to intensify that twist. So if you find yourself collapsing, consider taking a step back again. Patience. Awesome. Big breath in, long breath out. Release down, change sides. Inhale, other arm lift. And then if you want, on the exhale, bringing the hand in the opposite hip crease or maybe just on the lower back. Stacking the shoulders, keeping the engagement through the lower hand. So really think about pushing yourself away. You should feel a little bit of an engagement in your shoulder, in your upper arm. Big breath in, long breath out. And then again, lifting the arm and exhale, bringing it down. Good, back in tabletop position, extend the right foot out, do a little wiggle, down into the heel. Again, the core stays engaged, navel draws into the spine at all times. And then other side. And then keep the left leg or whichever leg is extended at this point. Bring the other foot with you. Push yourself away for this plank pose. You can drop the knees and maybe even lift the feet or keep the feet down. Full body engagement. One more big breath in. On the exhale, find your first downward facing dog as you reach the hips back and up in space. The fingertips are still really wide open. It's almost like claws. They're grabbing into the mat. You're rolling the upper shoulders out. So the elbow points are pointing down to the mat. And then begin to, if not already, walk out the heels. So drawing one heel further down, bending the other knee. Shaking out the head. Maybe shaking out the hips. And really working into the back of your legs this morning. Again, finding that space, meeting yourself wherever you are. And then gaze forward. And between your hands, take a lot of small steps to travel to the top of the mat. You can shake it out here from left to right. And drop the head down. Relax the shoulders, the jaw, the face. One more big breath out, open mouth. Great, and then from here, very gently roll yourself up. And take your time, Roll the shoulders back, lift the head. Welcome to standing. Awesome, big breath in, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down towards your heart center. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Showing up with patience for ourselves in our lives is always about, also, not always, but also about giving breaks, taking gentle check-in moments, and knowing that everything is going to be okay. All right, a couple of sun salutations here to wake up the body. Big breath in, reach the arms up and overhead. Lean slightly back as you push the hips forward, squeezing the glutes, and the arms just reach back in space. No need to go far. And then exhale, hands in front of your heart center, bending the knees, hinge from the hips as you flow down. Drop the head. Big breath in, straighten the legs, straighten the chest for your half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plank. And then on this first round, exhale, drop knees, chest, and chin. Keep the elbows glued to the body. Gaze forward. And then untuck the toes. Roll the pelvis and the pubic bone on the mat. Roll the shoulders back, elbows close to the body. Lift. Exhale, forehead down on the mat. Tuck your toes. And then push yourself back into a child's pose. Glutes down to the heels. And whenever you're ready, rise into down dog. And take 3 deep breaths here. If you feel like walking out your heels, if the legs are still a bit stiff, do that. Long breath. And then gaze forward between your hands, bend the knees a little bit more to possibly find just 2 big steps this time. For your next in-breath, immediately come into half lift. And then as you exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, rise, bend the knees, glutes engaged, core engaged, arms reach over the side. Big inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Round 2, big breath in, again a circle. Push the hips slightly forward, lean a little bit back in space. Exhale, fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, Adha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plank. Exhale, this time drop the knees and push your chest slightly more forward, keeping the core engaged, just like a plank pose. And then lowering just halfway down so you can push yourself back up again. It's a little bit of a yogi push-up here. So find your edge today. Again, give yourself grace and patience wherever the body meets you today. And then on the next one, you're going to lower down to your edge. Again, remember elbows close to the body. And when you find your edge, release the toes, push the back of the feet in the mat, roll up, roll the shoulders back to find this cobra, and then gaze over the shoulders. Slightly squeezing the glutes, keeping the core engaged. Only go as high as feels good in the lower back. If you feel a little bit of a scrunchy, itchy sensation, you can always travel further down. Big inhale. One more time. Exhale, back. Maybe this time directly up into downward facing dog. Big breath in. A long breath out. One more. And bend the knees, gaze forward. Step or hop, top of the mat. Big breath in, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Another round. Big breath in. Lean back. Just gently in space to then find opposite movement. Forward folds. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. When you step into plank this time, use the other foot first just to break up the habit a little bit. And now this time, find your variation. So just like we did in the beginning, knees, chest, and chin. Knees, half chaturanga, strong core. Or full chaturanga by lifting the legs. And see yourself not collapsing in the hips, in the core. And then finding this upward facing dog, with just the feet and the hands as your base. Roll the shoulders back, feel the lift. Big breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog, or maybe a child's pose. Give yourself patience wherever you are. Big breath in. Long breath out. One more like that. Big breath in. Long breath out. Awesome. From here, you're going to drop the knees down on the floor. So coming back into tabletop position. Again, drawing the navel into the spine. And then extend the right leg out behind you. Now, I'm going to turn around so you can see better. And now, option one, if you feel very stable today in your core, in your balance, you can stay with the back leg just extended to the back. Otherwise, it's always nice to kick the leg out, so really off your yoga mat, to give yourself a little bit more stability here. And then you want to open the right arm, stacking the shoulders, and keeping the right leg lifted. At this point, the pelvis is going to open. You can also bring the right hand into your hip. Back foot stays engaged. The leg wants to lift. And then maybe reaching the arm up. This is already a lot. You might want to stay here. You can always drop the foot down. Otherwise, right arm reaches up and overhead. Big inhale. Exhale, find a little crunch in the front of your body by bringing the elbow and the knee together. Inhale, extend, find length. Exhale, tiny crunch. Just one more. Awesome. And then again, stay extending, reaching the right arm up so the shoulders are stacked one long line. Again, chest open. Option to grab the foot. See how that wants to go today. Grabbing your foot. And then finding the arch in the back. So pushing the foot into the hand and the hand into the foot. And then you can explore a little bit, gazing up or down. What feels good, what gives you balance, what challenges you maybe. And breathe. One more big inhale. One more big exhale. Part of patience is also just to hold a pose. Our monkey minds always want to move. But there's a lot of engagement in this pose. So try not to collapse in your limbs today. All right, we gently release. Find this half moon variation again. And then bring the right foot down on the outer edge. Right arm reaches up and overhead. You might want to stay here. You can circle already back, maybe into a child's pose or a down dog. If you want a little extra today, then you can lift and kick out your lower leg. Big breath in. Exhale, we all circle back, down dog. And take a relaxing big breath in. Extra relaxing long breath out. Option Vinyasa if you want. You can also just hover it back into a child's pose. Whenever you're ready, come back to down dog or straight into tabletop position. So to do the thing on the other side, drawing the navel into the spine. Pushing yourself away through the shoulders. So full body engagement, and then kicking the left leg out. And again, if you want to find a little bit more stability, you can kick that right leg out to the side. So it's just going to give you more space to hold your body weight. If you don't, you can try it from here, but that's going to be a bit more tricky. And then you want to lift the leg, keep the foot engaged, opening the pelvis. You can check with your hand in the hip. Maybe that's it for today. Maybe you drop the foot down, bust up one. If you want a bit more, the right arm reaches up and overhead. Find length as if somebody pulls on your foot at the same time at your hand. And then on the exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend. Exhale, crunch. Big breath in. Exhale. Awesome. Reach the left arm up again. And then again, also here, finding the foot. So the palm is perfectly shaped to fit the back of your foot. And then again, think about pushing the foot into the hand into the foot. Explore with your gaze what feels good. Roll the upper shoulder back. Lift the chest. Smile if you feel like it. And breathe. You might even want to close the eyes if you feel like you have the balance. Finding a little bit of calmness in this position. Awesome. Very gently release, bringing the left foot down, left arm overhead. And then again, if you want a bit more, you're going to push the outer foot through and up. Side plank variation. Next exhale, find your down dog. If you need to keep the energy flowing, if you want. Another vinyasa. Otherwise, also maybe consider just taking a break before we move into the next pose. And just contemplating a little bit how that felt, yeah? How do I judge that? How's my body working today? How do I feel about this? Do I want more? Do I expect more? Why do I put so many expectations on myself all the time? Just taking a long exhale, wherever you are. You might even be in down dog. And just finding that ease as the shoulders sink down. Awesome. If you are in down dog, you are in the right position, stay there. If you're not, let's find our way there. You can keep the knees bent, the heels lifted, and just giving you that extra length through the spine. And take a big inhale. And a long exhale. All right, and then on your next in-breath, you're going to reach the left leg up in space. Really pushing down through your right foot, keeping the chest parallel to the body. So if the leg doesn't reach so high, that's fine. Just try to keep the balance through this three-legged variation. And then you can open your hip by kicking the left foot out to the right side, reaching the right knee higher, yet still shoulders point down to the mat. Big inhale and big exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale, bringing the left foot forward between your hands. Also here, patience to get there. There's no rush this morning. Then you're going to pivot open your back foot to the side. So you have a heel-to-heel alignment. The front knee is bent, and then the right arm circles you up and over into warrior two. Now, find your block. And place it in front of you, in front of your left foot. We want to stay just 2-3 more breaths in warrior two. If the arms get heavy, feel free to relax them down. Otherwise, check your alignment for a moment. Shoulders over hips, back foot pushes into the mat. The front knee is over the front ankle. The thighs are rolling back. You gaze over your front finger. And again, that monkey mind that already thinks about the next pose, I'm just going to quiet it down for a second. Recentering the breath. Awesome. That's your bust up 1 for this pose. Bust up 2 is bringing the right hand into your hip and then finding the block with the left hand, pushing the weight further in towards your front leg to then eventually lift the back foot off. So it's usually a lot easier when you bring the block further out, and obviously it's even easier if you find something that's a bit higher. So the block on the furthest edge is a good idea. If you haven't recognized, we're in half moon, hips are open. Same thing as we did before, just a level higher. And then again, kicking that right leg off. The foot stays engaged. Maybe reaching the right arm up. And then maybe again, grabbing the back foot. Finding again that arch that we did before. It's always just episodes. You want to meet yourself with patience. If it doesn't work today, don't worry. It took me a long time to even get here with the block. And then if you want more, you can also try releasing the block. If you fall out, take it easy. Find your way back. And then if you were in the bind, gently release back to half moon and then bend into your standing front leg to slide back into warrior 2. Maybe the stance is a bit too short. We open it wider. Big inhale. On the exhale, lean back, straighten the front leg and draw the toes in towards you, the front toes. Opposite movement. And from here, bending again into the front knee, circling everything back down to find your downward facing dog. Vinyasa if you want. It can be any variation. And taking maybe a child's pose again. Or maybe staying in down dog. Maybe even coming up. And then we want to find this flow, obviously, on the other side. So again, if you are in down dog, awesome. If not already, let's make our way there very slowly with patience. Big breath. And then lift the right leg off the mat, root the left foot down. Three-legged dog, find the balance through these 3 limbs touching the mat. One more big inhale. On the next exhale, kick the right foot out to the left, reach the right knee higher, and again, parallel with the chest. And one more big inhale, reach the knees slightly higher. On the exhale, stepping the right foot forward. Pivot open the back foot, so the toes point towards the long ways. And then the left arm circles you up, right knee stays bent. Exhale, sit low, and again, making the stance a bit wider can be nice for the hips. Make sure that the knee doesn't fall too much in. Gaze over your front fingers. And just stay here. So the weight wants to be equally distributed throughout both of your feet. So it's not just in the front leg. You're also pushing actively in towards your back foot. Breathe. Keeping the engagement, keeping the activity through the feet. Patience in this pose. So your body really anchors through this posture. And then again, find your block. So hopefully you're still facing the same way of your mat. You don't have to carry it like me, otherwise we do that. And then again, bringing the back hand in towards your hip, And the front arm reaches forward to find the block, possibly on the highest level. So maybe you already have enough stability and strength in your front leg, you can just kick up. Otherwise, it's easier to walk a little bit more forward and then bringing the hand further out. Whoo. And then finding the lift. Patience. Sometimes one side works better than the other. Maybe also at this point the body's slightly exhausted, so it's a bit harder. And just meet you where you are today. If you want to extend the arm, do that. Keep the foot engaged, the back foot. Breathe. And then maybe again grabbing the back foot to find that arch again. And staying here. Maybe it's a bit wiggly, maybe you fall out. And that's okay. These advanced postures take practice, they take patience, they take time. And they take a good mindset, most of all. All right, we gently release, bending into the front knee, finding the back foot back with grace and patience, and then reversing everything, straightening the front leg, reaching the toes up in space towards you. And then you circle everything back down, last down dog, step the right foot back. Last Vinyasa, your choice. Can always be skipped. And then find yourself in a child's pose by drawing glutes down to heels. And then just bring the hands down towards your feet. And try to find the floor with your forehead, so that might entail just opening the knees a bit wider. Or using the yoga block. So you can put your third eye, the point between your eyebrows, down on the mat and just roll over it from left to right a little bit. And to stimulate your vagus nerve, just a little bit of calmness. Deep breath. Allow yourself to release from that pushing through the limbs, what I said earlier, all this engagement. And just becoming a little bit more soft. Awesome, and then very gently you're going to roll yourself back up. Take it slow. And bring the feet together. And again, swing the legs in front of you. So we're going to find Paschimottanasana, like I said, one more time. And draw the flesh out so you can really, from your glutes, so you can really bring the sits bones down on the mat. Again, if you feel like it, sit on a block. And let's find Dandasana for a moment, extending the legs out, feeling the lift through the crown of the head. And the hands just come next to you. You can bring the hands right under your shoulders. Gaze forward. And again, meeting yourself with patience in this pose. Nothing is permanent, not even this posture, however it feels in the body. One more big breath in. One more big breath out. Awesome. Again, on your next in-breath, the arms reach up and overhead to push the chest a little bit more out. And then bend the knees generously if you want. Push the heels into the floor. And then begin to lean forward from your chest, aiming to bring your belly down to the thighs. And then touching the feet, maybe the ankles, maybe the shin bones, maybe just holding your opposite elbows underneath your thighs. And then think about somebody elongating. So if I was going to give you an assist in a person, I would stretch down on your lower back to guide you a little bit more forward. So not from the chest. The length creates through the lower back. It's more of a lower back stretch, actually, at least for my body. Maybe you feel it in a completely different space, and that's absolutely okay. That's awesome. We're all different. And we come as we are. We show up as we are. Everybody's practice is different. And then also here, just give yourself patience. So again, if you take nothing away from this class, let it be just this one thing, that finding more space in the body, more strength, more stability, whatever it is, it takes time. The more we're accepting that, the more we're allowing ourselves to take time, the more easy it's going to get. Because you let go of expectations, you still hold on to the belief, of course. But you allow yourself to just take a little bit more time. And then also hanging out in these poses a little bit longer sometimes unfolds the most wonderful things, sometimes just physical, as the body slowly begins to open and you feel like you can all of a sudden sink so much deeper. Or maybe just in the mind as you can feel the relaxation trickling down. All right, we just hold this for one more breath. And then we rise up. And bring the feet down on the mats. And bring the pelvis a little bit more forward. And gently roll yourself back, however that's looking today. You might want to grab behind your thighs or take it a little bit more active. And then you can draw the knees into the chest. Let the shoulders relax. And then let the knees fall to one side. Extend the arms out to the other. Maybe that's it. Maybe the lower leg extends. Maybe you're grabbing the foot again, finding this arch like we did before. Find a twist either way, with the lower body to one side, the upper body to the other side. And allow your belly at this point, if not yet, to become soft. The belly doesn't need to, the belly button doesn't need to draw into the spine anymore. It's super soft. Gorgeous as it is. And then slowly, slowly, you want to change sides. Knees back to the center. And then dropping them down to the other side. Unhinge your jaw, let yourself become soft and heavy, and drawing down to the floor, feeling this groundedness down to the earth. A sense of security and safety here, just in your being, just in the presence. And then you can slowly come back to center and find a short, sweet Shavasana here by letting the feet fall out, extending them out, and opening them a little bit wider than hip width distance. The feet fall out to the side, and the arms extend out long, the palms face up. One long line through the spine, unhinging of the jaw, softness through the eyebrows. Letting the practice fully sit in, settle. through your body, through your mind, through your soul. That union that yoga wants to establish. And feel free to stay in your Shavasana for a little bit longer, as long as you need today, or otherwise finding your way back up and taking it gently and slowly with ease and patience. I keep repeating myself. To travel back up into a seat, just like where we started. And then bring the hands in front of your heart center. Take a big inhale as you rise up, reach the crown of the head up to the sky. And take a big long breath out, bowing down, chin to chest in gratitude for dedicating this practice to giving yourself patience and people and circumstances around you. And gratitude for this new day and gratitude for this awesome body that you hold. Thank you so much for your trust. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. I wish you a wonderful day, and I really hope to see you again next week.